Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Black Bean Simpson here. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about Chris Pratt, the actor. So, there's this article that came up yesterday on theredstate.com, written by Alex Parker. The title is called Christian Persecution. Actor Chris Pratt announces a period of fasting and prayer. The left condemn him. So I'm pretty much just going to read through and give my opinion here and there. I just find this story kind of interesting, as essentially in America, it's like Christians are pretty much shamed from being open Christians, like actually true Christians. True Christians are Christians who condemn abortion, who say you should be married before having sex, be married before moving in. Um, kind of like that. The quote unquote strict Christian, which is just really being a true Christian. It seems like that you can't be a true Christian in America no more without being condemned by the people who romanticize about Christian or being a Christian. It seems like that's the latest fashion nowadays, is to romanticize about an ideology such as Christianity. So I'm going to read on through here. Chris Pratt isn't your typical movie star. Just watch his 9 Rules acceptance speech from the 2018 MTV Movie and TV Award below. In addition to being outspokenly Christian, he also appears staggeringly down to earth for a celebrity of his caliber. The man is presently one of the biggest actors in the world, and though we know actors are just really lucky scallops, very few of them seem to be aware of the same. Chris is a breath of fresh air. The Guardian of the Galaxy star recently announced on Instagram that he was taking part of a biblical fast accompanied by intense prayer. It says here, "Hi, Chris Pratt here. Day 3 of Daniel Fast. Check it out. It's 21 days of prayer and fasting. It goes to coincide also, coincidentally, with Lego Movie Junket, or Lego Movie 2 Junket. So by the time you see me, I'll probably be hallucinating. Stay tuned." Now, I never heard Daniel fasting. I'm gonna just bring that up here real quick. So, as Daniel fasting is a specifically reference to, this is just a Google, little quick reference thing. What is it? So I'm just gonna read it. I'm gonna read the Google's one and then the Wikipedia version. So Daniel fast is a specifically reference to the Bible in 2 sections of the book of Daniel's 1:12, which states, "Please test your servants for 10 days and let them give us vegetables plus to eat, water to drink." Daniel 10:2-3, which says, "In those days I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks." And then it says on the Wikipedia, it says the Daniel fast is a religious partial fast that is popular among evangelicals, Protestants, and I think that's how you pronounce that, Protestants, in the United States, in which meat, wine, and other rich foods are avoided in favor of vegetables and water for typical 3 weeks in order to draw the believer closer to God of Christianity. Interesting. So the first I've heard of this. I've heard of such a fasting, such a extreme fasting, I guess you can say. It's not really extreme if you're like a vegan or something, right? But anyways, so we'll move on here. From the Daniel's Fast official website, we'll even bring that up here real quick. String. So it says right here, it says the about Daniel Fast. Daniel Fast is based on fasting experience of the Old Testament prophet, and it's partial fast where some foods are eaten while others are restricted. Most people use this method of fasting for 21 consecutive days. So you're interested on fasting, maybe, and you're a Christian, maybe that would be an interesting way to check out. But anyways, I was going to continue here. The Daniel fast is based on the fasting experience of the old. I literally just pretty much read that. We'll read on here. The partial except applicable to New York. Oh, that's annoying. That was my phone. So hundreds of thousands of Christians throughout the world begin the New Year's with a period of extended prayer and fasting. Most will begin the fast on Sunday, January 4th, not requirement, and use the Daniel fast as a method of fasting. The fast involves deep communion with the God. Entering into a period of extended prayer and fasting is like pushing the pause button on life so you can draw near to God. The Holy Spirit joins you in this experience as you open your heart to receive from the Lord. The purpose of the fast is for participant to enter into a deep spiritual experience with the Lord so He can work in your life and on your behalf. There are also physical benefits. According to the site, the Daniel fast is a spiritual experience with significant health benefits. Thousands of people with health and weight issues experience success as they submit all of who they are to the Lord and change from the inside out. Traditionally, Chris isn't much appreciated by the left, as pointed out by the Daily Wire. In the December TV Guide grilled the actor, "Man, this is a good one. Check it out." In 2017, Chris made a mundane statement in men's fitness. "I don't see a personal story in today's movies that necessarily resonates with me because there's not my stories. I think there's room for me to tell mine and probably an audience that would be hungry for them. The voice of the average blue-collar American isn't necessarily represented in Hollywood." That's for certain. It is for the fringe, the odd, and the unaverage nowadays. That is what Hollywood, it seems to be curtailing to, or pruning their creativity to. Is not to the general mass. It's to a very specific group of people now. And if anything, they will try to like sneak stuff into like kids films and also films that just really shouldn't have much, like a political stuff. That's definitely becoming more and more, or it's a major problem. I mean, look at you could just tell. Look at Netflix, a year like from 2017, or from 2018, 2017, back from just the last 4 years to now, and there's a drastic difference. It's amazing. And then even within shows, so if you could see a brand new show, first 2 seasons, if it came out last year or the year before, you can see the difference just because of the elections. I mean, literally, because you could see how they're pulling in things from what's happening now and actually trying to apply them in ways that trying to always try to make like a Trump supporter look bad, or to always make Trump sound bad, but they never say his name. They never really say Trump supporter. They just always leave that vague, you know. But they will be like "Make America Great Again," or they'll make some funny of it. It's pretty interesting. It's really interesting in Hollywood how they do that. But I tell you what, if Trump was a black man, that should be promoted and be everywhere. Well, that, and he would have to be, globalization still. Pretty much a puppet. But all right, we're gonna move on here. So it says after Chris said that, it says, makes sense, right? Not to outrage culture. He was slammed. Therefore, TV Guide printed this. The idea that Pratt doesn't see himself, though he may come from a working class family and spends most of his time on the farm, and he also is a successful, here it is, a straight white man. No, these people just don't have no hatred. No hatred for color. At the heart of two major film franchises as being represented in the television of film is ridiculous, as it is the idea that working class America isn't well represented in Hollywood. There are a number of films and TV shows that depict the working class struggle, and I'd be happy to send Pratt a list. But the truth is, the reason Pratt comment enrages so many people is because it ignores the fact that there is a number of communities actually struggling for a better representation, communities that have been fighting for a long time to see themselves on TV and film. You know what? Personally, I would agree with that, but it's pretty much a bullshit, feel-good type of statement. But you know what? This somewhat right. I am not represented at all on TV. There is like zero fucker out there on TV that I feel at all that I have a connection to. There is no TV I watch this day. I haven't watched a TV show forever, like a brand new TV show. Besides maybe a couple like funny shows here and there, watch like a show or whatever. But there's not a TV show out there. I watch mostly just web stuff and web stuff. I mean, there's nothing to offer from these people. There's nothing to connect to with these people. Everything's so fake now. It's outrageous. And even, I don't care what color you are. If you're a man, you really shouldn't be able to connect to with anything that they're trying to represent men in Hollywood. They represent men as weak, pathetic men. The like beta things. They crumble as soon as a child holds an argument against them. It's ridiculous. It's not like back in the 40s when they were making films and they made men look strong, and they made the families look up to the men and respect the men, and the men were the ones that gathered the resources and did the work. You know, that's how it used to be. Something happened after World War I and II. Something definitely happened. I think it was the lack of a bunch of strong men coming back. I think it has something to do with that. So, we're going to move on here. So, TV Guide has a hatred for white men. That's a definitely, or whoever wrote that for TV Guide has at least a hatred for men. But TV Guide allowing it, it shows you who can hate who right now. It's okay to hate white people. It's not okay to hate any minorities as a white person. But as a minority, as long as you're on the left side, you can just hate on just about anyone. But as soon as you're a minority on the right side, on the side of a Trump voter, oh no. You better just put your tail between your legs, just like every other white folk, and go on by. As like how they call them, like all the coon and all those other horrible names. Like, I invite everybody to go listen to Jesse Lee Peterson. He's a black man who was born and raised on a Jim Crow era on a plantation in Alabama. I believe I'm correct in all that. And I think he's like 70 years old now or something like that, or 71. But he talks about how he talks the truth about all this stuff. He points out on how these people, they really just there's a hatred. There's a deep hatred for the white people, and he talks about it. And he's right. He's right on the par on it. It's amazing, and he's one of those black people as a minority. Oh no, he's talking the wrong stuff. So he's a bad guy. He's the evil guy. Not worried on here. He later apologized. Bad move, yeah. And it gets worse. This is where we are, folks. Courtesy of the guide. Just 1 month after the blue collar comment, Pratt posted another video to Instagram with a caption that urged his followers to turn up the volume and not just read the subtitles. A statement some members of the hearing impaired and community found dismissive. I didn't even read them. The hearing impaired community found dismissive. Can you hear it yet? You know what? Who fucking cares? We'll never be able to satisfy everybody. I mean, at what point when you're this fucking big, you know, you're just so, you know what? I'm just gonna gather my own fucking club and fucking start making my own movies. Fuck you all. I mean, people are doing it on YouTube. And if you're as rich as Pratt is and you're probably as well connected, it can't be that difficult. I don't get it. I don't really get it. But anyways, I'm gonna move on here. He later offered an apology on Instagram saying that he phrased his initial caption the way he did so people wouldn't scroll past the video on mute, thus watching and digesting the information in the video. The apology, which he also gave in American Sign Language, was earnest and extensive, and it appeared as if Pratt sincerely learned from his mistakes for once. Nah. Mistake for once. Back to Daniel Fast and Chris' Instagram video. There were some of his response. So I guess lady boners that went limp. I bet he's happy with that if that's the case. I mean, some of these. He just became zero attractive, and I bet this bitch would still fall on her knees and suck his cock if he was to whip it all. And this is how fucking stupid these people are. This is outrage mob right here. This is the people who cannot handle their emotions one bit, and they're just like this like tunnel vision people. Like, oh my god, we get it that you go to church, and it's not like he's the one who's promoting it. It's not him that wrote it for the New York Post and posted for New York Post. Like, I don't get that. Like, why? It's so weird. People are fucking the worst Christian in Hollywood. Like, I figured he was the only Christian in Hollywood as a major actor. Maybe I'm wrong. If I was them though, after watching him, maybe you want to go into hiding for a second, maybe, and then figure out a plan of action or something. I don't know. Yeah, you know, a bunch of people who go after Christians like this. These are you can't get no weaker than this because Christians are the type of people who will always they're supposed to turn their cheek to their enemy and stuff like that. They're supposed to turn their cheek. And if you're gonna attack people who are always turning their cheek, you're weak. You're tiny. You're pathetic. I mean, I can't see it any other way. If you're always gonna go after Christians, and they're the ones that turn the cheek, I get why you don't go after any other religion. I get why you don't go after anybody else, because they will and will not turn the cheek and throw a punch. That's how I know these people are weak. They're pathetic and they're weak because they will attack the people who will turn the cheek. That's these type of people right here. And the guide too. Very sad. Wish you luck, Chris Pratt. If you like this podcast, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like this podcast, please still like and subscribe. Comment down below to let me know how you like this podcast or anything. Just say what's up. Thank you. Have a great day.